would Scott Coant say? Don't actually tell me, I don't want to know. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Camille, and this is Camille's Dishes. Today we're going to be making sweet potato gnocchi. I had the potatoes in the oven for about 40 minutes on 400 degrees. I was doing a Sydney Cummings workout, power yoga, 30-minute power yoga while these were in the oven, multitasking. And here are the herbs that I just picked. I just gave them a little wash. Even with the rain, they were still a little dirty. So I'll use the basil in tomato sauce, and then the rest I will use in the actual gnocchi. So the recipe is from the site Food with Feeling. I've made it before. It's a simple 3-ingredient sweet potato gnocchi recipe. It calls for 2 medium sweet potatoes. I have 3. They're not quite medium, so they're pretty small. So I'm using these 3 smaller potatoes and 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and I'm adding the fresh herbs to it to make it kind of my own, and I'm also going to be making a tomato sauce. So I already took the herbs off of the stems. I have thyme, sage, rosemary, and oregano. Thyme, sage, rosemary, and oregano. I'm just going to chop these up real quick. Just get them. Alright, so I have my herbs all chopped up. I'm just going to add it to the flour mixture. Smells amazing. So I'm not got way over here. Just going to give it a little quick mix so that it's all incorporated in this. The next step is to peel the potatoes and put them through a ricer. I don't have a ricer, so I'm going to use a food mill, which I think works just about as well. I think the food mill might be a little bit finer than a potato ricer, but it's the same idea. So you basically just want it to process it to make it smooth. So I'm just going to peel these real quick, and we'll speed this up. Oh, actually, if you put them in a food mill, you don't even have to peel them. It will remove the peels for you. So, but I am just going to kind of like break it in half. So basically you crush the food in the mill, and then you take it the other way, and it's going to pick up all the remnants. And then you can go over again until you're done milling the food. Let's add this one. But see, it does take off that peel for you, so. Now done. You'll see the bottom of the food mill has a little bit on there, so you can just scrape that off, and then you can have the potato peels as a snack. Be more graceful than that. So now we're going to take the flour and put it onto our board, and it's going to be very similar to how you'll see just any homemade pasta being made where you make a well. Except our sweet potato is going to act like an egg in this situation. Sweet potato. So now we're just gonna work this with our hands. This is what I mean when I want tools very close to me. I have this bench scraper that's gonna make this easier. Especially when you have like very dirty hands, if you can have something close by, you don't have to get all other parts of your kitchen dirty. It's very helpful. Unless you do shit like that and get it everywhere anyways. This is definitely starting to come together. I have quite a good ball here. So now I need to really try and get all these little bits into the dough. And working with your hands, I mean, I like to use this to kind of pull it together, but working with your hands is going to help because the warmth of your hands is going to help form this dough as well. Right. And there we have it, our sweet potato herbed dough. It's a lovely, I want to say purple, it's a lovely orange color, and you can see the herb throughout it. There's one important thing for a gnocchi that I haven't mentioned, which would be a gnocchi board. You don't actually need one. You can use the back of a fork, so like this way, to make the sauce, and again, we're not eating it quite yet. I'm going to cut it up and put it on this cookie sheet. So first we're going to cut it into some sections. We'll start with a piece about this big. Pull it out kind of like a rope. Alright, here we go. So this is about what you want here, this rope. And now we're going to cut it into little 1/2-inch pieces. This scraper that I have does have measurements on it if you want to get specific or very accurate on your cutting. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Alright, so here are our little pieces. And then you can take the back of your fork and which way do you want to do it? You kind of gotta take your thumb and like that. Looks like this. And go like that. So that it has some nice little crevices for your sauce. That is the purpose, if you didn't know that. So here's our sheet of gnocchis. Here's the finished gnocchi. This is probably about 2 or 3, well, it's definitely more than 2 dozen. It's probably between 3 and 4 dozen pieces, which doesn't seem like a lot when you think of pasta, but gnocchi is very filling. I'm going to use the food mill again. I have these Italian peeled tomatoes, so they already have basil in them, so I'm just gonna use the food mill to crush the tomatoes, which I could just use crushed tomatoes, but this just seems like maybe it'll be a little bit more flavorful. We'll see. Add some diced pepper. My mom always put pepper in her sauce and I really liked it, so I'll put the garlic in, and then we'll get the pepper. Will kind of add another level of flavor as well. So this is pretty hot. We'll put this garlic in. I'm just gonna crush these tomatoes the same way that we did the sweet potatoes. And like I said, with the sweet potatoes and the tomatoes, if you don't have a food mill, just mash it. It's fine. It'll be fine. I don't know how old food mill technology is and potato ricer technology is, but I'm sure there's ways to do it without them. Alright, I think that's it. Yeah. Alright, so now we just have some of like the chunky skins. I'm going to add that back in. I know that seems kind of counterproductive, but I like it a little bit chunky, but I don't want it too chunky because the gnocchi is also going to be very chunky. Definitely don't like it sweet, but a little pinch will be good. And I think I might add a little squeeze of lemon. I'm gonna stir, oh Jesus. I'm gonna stir this in. There we go. That on low. I'm gonna add some salt. Some good old unfancy salt. A few minutes and clean up a little bit, and then we'll be back. It's really getting there. It's getting nice and thick. I'm going to add my basil. And I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon. I have a very important question. Do you call your tomato sauce, or do you call it gravy? My dad always called it gravy, but I don't know, I kind of switched to calling it sauce, so you let me know. I know it's a hot debate. We like to ask the tough questions around here. Very small portion right now, and what you can do is you can actually just leave it on the cookie sheet and freeze it, and then the individual pieces will freeze, and then you can store it in another container if you want to do that, or you can just throw it in fresh, or I think you can put it in the fridge probably for like 3 days. That's usually the typical amount of time for fresh pasta. A few days in the fridge. Water is boiling. I have 12 of the gnocchi here, which is, I think, a pretty good portion. Gonna drop these in. Ready to be pulled out. I like to use this. Pull these out. Okay, I'm just gonna take a few scoops of sauce, put over the gnocchi. And of course you're going to want to put Parmesan on this too. Probably should have put this on a plate so you could see it better. Yeah. So here is the gnocchi. Alright. You can really see all of the ridges. Now let's try some. Do you think it might be a little bit too dense? But you can really taste all the herbs in it. What is that flavor? I guess it's the pepper. The pepper really gave it like a nice, almost like a light flavor. But it really works well with the herbs in the gnocchi. I'm not getting a whole lot of the sweet potato flavor. Let's try another one. Yeah, I'm thinking possibly it might have been a little bit too much flour for how big the sweet potatoes were. I still can't stop eating them though. Ooh, but I do really love this sauce. This sauce came out great. And you know what? I forgot to put the wine in the sauce. I didn't even open the bottle. Where's the bottle? Oh, you know what I did? I was cleaning up. I put the bottle away before I put it in the sauce. All you really need with this is like a side of garlic bread to really soak all this leftover sauce or gravy up. That would be perfect. Use a little bit less flour. The sweet potato flavor would have come through a lot more, and it might have been a little bit more light and fluffy like how gnocchi is supposed to be, because these did come out a little bit dense, and that could have either been I overworked it or a little bit too much flour. So, you know, it's alright. We'll try again next time and make it even better, but I just love the aftertaste is leaving in my mouth with all those fresh herbs and just the brightness of the pepper as well. So I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. I put out videos every Sunday. Bye!